should be fine. Pippa, man, no. I love Pippa, and I know you do too, but I tell you what, if you have 35 for 33, she's going to have to find a little more consistency in qualifying, I think, if she's going to make this field. I hate to see her miss, but I think she's going to have an uphill climb to trying to make the field at 33.
Pippa, man, she's so nice. That's for sure. Joining us also now, Tyson Lautenschlager, who's going to be joining us with our NASCAR talk, but certainly a big Indy Car aficionado himself, our favorite Canadian, Tyson Lautenschlager from onpitroad.com. Tyson, welcome back to The Balance. We're talking Indy Car. We're getting ready for Indy here in May at the Indianapolis Grand Prix coming up next. Talk with us a little bit about your thoughts as we go into the biggest month of Indy Car, and that's the month of May. Right here in Indianapolis.
Yeah, well, I caught the last little bit of that talking, I assume, about who's going to be good to make it in the Indy 500, and I kind of agree. I think there are some really some of the younger guys that are going to be wild cards to make it, and some of them that should be in good shape. You got Matthias Slice for AJ Foyt Racing, and we haven't really seen him show too much on the ovals yet. Obviously, he's only had Phoenix to show for. I think he should be good to make it in the field. I think AJ Foyt's gotten a little bit better over the off season, and they should be in good shape to make it. But we do see them often struggle at Indy. And then you got the guys out of the Dale Coyne stable, which is going to be really unpredictable. Ford A should obviously be totally fine. But then you have guys like Pietro Fittipaldi, who we don't know how he's going to do at Indy because we just haven't seen him race a lot on big, high-speed ovals. We saw him at Phoenix, and he did show quite a bit of speed. And he does have a little bit of short track background to him. If you look back a few years back in 2012, he ran Denny Hamlin's short track showdown at, I believe at the time it was at Richmond. So he does have a little bit of oval experience, but we don't know quite how he'll do when it gets to Indy. And I really do think Pippa Mann, based on the experience that she's built up at Indy, I think she'll be okay to make the field. It'll be really, really close, but I think she can do it.
Joining us also to get ready for the NASCAR segment coming up here in just a moment, but we'll bring him on to talk a little IndyCar with us. That's Steve Wilson, editor and publisher of speedway-digest.com, and certainly we'll be representing him and working and partnering with him out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway this year to cover the Indianapolis 500 for both the Balance and Speedway Digest. Steve, how you doing, sir? We're talking a little IndyCar, getting ready for the Indy Grand Prix, and certainly IndyCar in the month of May before we get into the NASCAR talk. Any thoughts on IndyCar this year?
No, because I haven't watched any of it, to be honest.
Well, we can understand that you're simply busy. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back with some NASCAR talk. Matthew, do you want to stick around with some NASCAR talk, or do you got to go?
I can stick around. There's obviously Talladega, and looking back to Daytona and the way that race ended, I think there's going to be a lot of talk as to what happens coming up this weekend, and a lot of questions, I think, that need to be answered. And I think there's a few things the fans want to see that they saw at Daytona, but they didn't like. So I think ultimately a lot of questions to be answered looking ahead to tomorrow and what this means for the future of restrictor plate racing in the sport.
Absolutely, DEGA Baby Jesus, that's right. Shake and bake. We used to have, I lost it, I don't know what happened to it. We used to have a bit every time we would talk about, and Steve remembers this, every time we would talk about Danica Patrick, I'd play that Talladega Nights bit, soundbite. It said, her
yeah,
ass
you did
so
that
hot
to me too.
Stop traffic. So we'll be right back. My name's Tom-Marquis, El Presidente. Our executive producer, Rick-Riggin, is in the war room monitoring social media. So if you want to tweet us or if you want to give us a call on 917-889-8516. We'll be right back right here on the Balance Radio Network.
Bobby, you're here again.
Yeah, my doctor told me to reduce stress at work, so I come to Buffalo Wild Wings to eat lunch and watch sports. I get to pick one of 7 entrees, like sandwiches and salads, plus one of 7 sides.
Well, I like sides.
It's so affordable I can finally take a vacation.
Where you gonna go?
Here, Tim, here.
Introducing the new Beat-Up Fast Break Lunch Menu, starting at a new low price. Dine in or order takeout weekdays between 11 and 2. Participation and availability may vary. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
It's double trouble, double the fun. At African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals. See live educational shows. Feel the excitement. Have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo. Feel the adventure. Shop the Symbol Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike, you know.
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
Tonight, I just want to take you away. Blow your hands up in the sky. Let's make this party alright. Players, put your pinky fingers to the moon.
And welcome back to the Balance Half Hour in the books. Thank you to Matthew Embry, our official Indy Car contributor, breaking down last week at Barber, and certainly as we get ready for the Indianapolis 500 and the Indianapolis Grand Prix here in the month of May, just right around the corner. And Tyson Lautschlager joined us a little bit as well to talk a little Indy Car. It's time to get into our NASCAR segment. Before we do that, let's bring in our executive producer who's monitoring the war room. Rick, are you doing okay? How's things going on social media today?
Doing very well, very well. Funny gifts, show links, phone numbers to the show. Definitely sending out the message to call in and chat with our strong NASCAR panel right now for the next 15, 20 minutes.
Absolutely, and we'll do that. Rick is monitoring the war room for us, our social media. Certainly, Rick has did a lot for us in the short time that he's been our executive producer. Been a part of the Balance for a long time, but it was time to kind of move, give him more responsibility, or should I say, take more off of my plate and put more onto his plate, or however that works. But joining us now from the great state of the Commonwealth of Virginia is Steve Wilson of Speedway Digest. It's DEGA weekend, baby. It's DEGA weekend. I know we got a lot to talk about today with NASCAR. Matt Kenseth returns, Bayne and ARCA being bought, and that's right, DEGA. So take it over, Steve Wilson. What say you?
What say? I say a lot of things this week. I think if it could happen this week, it did happen this week. Silly season used to be for the off season. Well, not so much anymore. I mean, we can have craziness happen in the middle of the week, in the middle of the season. Roush Fenway Racing and Matt Kenseth pairing back up for select races again this year. The first race for him is going to be in Kansas in just a couple of weeks. They're taking Bayne out of the car for a few races. Bayne has something about, I think it's 18 of the rest of the season has sponsorship for him, and they're unfunded or unsponsored for the remaining. And, while Kenseth's schedule has yet to be, totally determined, I would expect to see, him in the car a fair amount. Now, yesterday Bayne did address the situation, and Bayne found out about it like the rest of us found out about it. through media reports. And yesterday he kind of addressed it. He said that he's healthy, he's capable, he's feeling good, but he really didn't have much comment beyond that. It sounds like he may be determining his next steps, but I'm not going to go out there and try and put words in his mouth or anybody else's mouth. But I do think that he may be reevaluating his situation over at Roush Fenway Racing. He was very non-committal in his very short, brief statement about what the future would hold for him, and in fact, he really didn't take any questions except from TV. And again, with them, it was very non-committal on only thing that he would commit to is that he's looking forward to being in the car this weekend at Talladega and trying to win. So, what that means beyond that, I don't know. But, Roush Fenway Racing and Matt Kenseth and Jack Roush and everybody over there, they're looking to get their cars back, competitive again. And they haven't been really competitive over the last several years. They fell from prominence over, the last decade or so. And aside from some super speedway wins with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., they really haven't had a whole lot of success anywhere else.
So we'll go on over to you, Tyson Lautenschlager of OnPitRoad.com. I know you cover a lot of NASCAR as well. As Steve said, this was one newsworthy week for NASCAR.
It really was. Kind of like Steve said, there was a bit of everything that went on this week, and it was, at the beginning of the week on maybe Sunday, if you would have said Matt Kenseth was coming back, it'd be like, yeah, okay, I don't think so. But, in fact, that's what's happening, and Matt's going to take over that 6-car for at least part of this season. And Kenseth coming back to Roush, it's kind of a reunion of sorts. Obviously, that's where he started his career, and now he's going to get back there. He's going to get to drive the 6-car, which is something that he wanted to do from the beginning. He was he made a joke after that announcement was released that he was originally going to drive the 6 after Mark Martin had retired. However, as we know, has Mark Martin really ever retired? We don't really know that. So now
that's a valid question.
Now we got Matt back in the seat with Roush Fenway, and it's honestly, I would have thought we wouldn't have seen Matt back in a race car, but we have him back in the Cup Series, and you can't help but feel a little bit bad for Trevor Bayne. I think this situation, it's a performance-based situation, and he hasn't been performing to what Roush Fenway would have liked. However, I think the PR side of things probably didn't handle things all that greatly, because I think there should have been a way to let Trevor know that, things were being looked into. You might be pushed out, because I don't think this was a very ideal situation for anyone.
So we'll go over to you, Matthew Embry, from Popular Open Wheel Now, our official IndyCar contributor. But I know that you guys follow a lot of NASCAR over there. Certainly, we had some action on the track with brain fart, bad wreck yesterday down at Talladega. But to get us started on the Talladega talk, and we'll get back over to Steve and break down this weekend's race in Dega. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I tell you, it was a ugly wreck. Obviously, a lot of damaged cars and a lot of people having to patch cars up for qualifying today, and then obviously for the Geico 500 tomorrow. But Jamie McMurray had the worst of it, flipped the car, and I tell you what, the fact that he was able to walk out and talk with NASCAR media, in fact, I've got the clip here.
Well, I think I blew a left rear tire out, and, when you're going that fast and you get turned sideways, you kind of know someone's going to hit you. But it's crazy, like, how quiet the car gets. And I've been racing forever, and I've never done the roll like that before. And I just kept my eyes closed. I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't really want to see what was going to happen. I opened my eyes a couple of times, but you can't tell what's up, and you can't really tell where to brace yourself. And I just, in my mind, was like, I just hope it lands on upright so that I can get out.
And trust me, guys, there's no justice as to what that is like when that car takes off, because these accidents, these big accidents, seems like it goes forever and ever and ever, and drivers will tell you all the time, this is what they don't like about restrictor plate races. These kind of wrecks, not only most of the time they're not your fault, but most of the time it just seems like you're hitting everything, and because these cars are going so fast, it takes forever to get the car to actually stop and all this drama to stop. And I tell you, it was a wild ride. It's good to see Jamie get out of there, but boy, it's going to be a heavy bill this week already for guys, and we already